Nowadays, it's very easy for us to find a mirror in our living room, in the bathroom, in a car, and we can even use our phone as a mirror. How do I look today? Awful. My phone doesn't recognize my face, and I don't wear any mask. Now, I am curious about how the mirror was discovered. And here is what I learned. One day, a very rich man went to an antique store finding something for himself. And he was attracted to something like a picture hanging on the wall. And he took a look at it. And he sees a very handsome man. When he smiles to that man smiles him back. And he was very delighted. So he bought the object. But when he went home, he hid it in a drawer in the guest room. And every day he went to the guest room to take a look at the object he bought. A few months later, his wife suspected him of doing something wrong. So she followed him to the guest room, and seeing that, he took a look at the picture, smiled at it, and put it back. She was waiting for his departure in order to take a look at it by herself. And when she saw a beautiful woman in the picture, she cried out aloud, saying, "My husband is not faithful to me." She went to this place to see a beautiful woman every day. And when her husband heard something, he re-entered the guest room and put his hands on her shoulders in order to calm her down. And she said, "Why you are staying behind that beautiful woman?" And he said to her, "That beautiful woman is you." And they burst out laughing when they discovered that it was a mirror. There is a mirror effect in the three readings that we have heard today. In the first reading, the prophet Elijah wanted to have something to eat. He was hungry. His situation is similar to the situation of the widow and her son. But there is a difference. The widow wanted to have something to eat before dying. She wanted to eat in order to die. But it is totally different from the prophet. He wanted to eat in order to live. So the prophet helped her to understand that in order to live, she needed to give away all that she had, even what she needed for her own survival. Life is given. Life multiplies when it is given. And Pope John Paul II, Saint John Paul II once said, "Your being increases in the measure that you give it away." So life is growing in the measure when you give it away. When you give it away. Now, in the second reading, there is also a mirror effect. The author of the letter to the Hebrews tells us that Jesus enters into heaven itself. He doesn't enter into a sanctuary made by human hands. Any sanctuary on earth is only a reflection of the true heaven. And because Jesus enters into that place, that real place, he can intercede for us in front of the Father. Now, how about the gospel? There is also a mirror effect in that reading. The life of the woman mirrors the life of Jesus. Like her, Jesus is going to die. Like her, Jesus is going to be persecuted by those who are supposed to protect him. Like her, Jesus is going to give from his poverty, from his lack. As a Son of God, Jesus doesn't have death and suffering in his divine nature. But one day, because of the salvation of the whole world, Jesus is going to give from his poverty. He's going to participate in our own suffering, in our own death, in order to give life to the whole world. So, during this week, I invite you to take a look at the story of the gospel to see how the life of Jesus, how the life of the poor widow reflect their life. That story can mirror our story. Who is the generous man and the compassionate woman in the story that we are reading? Who is the faithful man and the devoted woman in the story that we are reading? It is you. It is you. It is you.